Hello and welcome to this episode of the Buried Rat Podcast. Today I'm going to be making a Wake Up Sheeple episode, which I know sounds crazy. I want to preface this episode by saying that I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not one of the people who's going to be like, the Jews are taking over. Nothing of that sort. If you are one of those people and that's what you thought this video was, I would love if you hit dislike and clicked off. Please get away from me. But anyway, for everyone else who's normal and has critical thinking skills, welcome. I just kind of want to sort of talk about and expose some places that I think are weakest. And keep in mind, I'm talking from America specifically. Definitely not every country is like this, although I'm sure a lot that have had American influence are like this, or really just anywhere where capitalism has spread rampant. At the end of the day, that is kind of the problem, which is unfortunate. But that is the stance I'm going to take, is that capitalism is the reason why all of this is happening. If you can make profit off of something, you will. So, that being said, we're going to start with the auto industry. I think the auto and oil industries have incentives to keep each other running because, of course, if you can keep it running instead of diversifying your portfolio as a company, you will make money. If the auto industry is only making cars that are that take gas, the gas companies are going to make money off of that. And vice versa. If these gas companies aren't going to invest in electric energy or any type of clean energy, because when you really think about it, energy is free. There's so much free energy in the world if you think about it. The sun, if you were to have solar panels, that is just energy coming down from the sky at you. You don't have to do anything. It's coming down from the sky at you. That's enough energy to power a car, really, but do we really want, if you're a car company, do you really want everyone to have free energy? Or if you're an oil company, do you want everyone to have free energy and then not use these gas cars anymore? No. So, I don't know, that's just a weird thing to think about. Next is large trucks. I think the high costs and the demand are what is giving these companies a lot of profit with these bigger cars. There's, I know, a lot of incentives in America to keep cars pretty big, especially compared to their international counterparts. And a lot of it was propaganda in the 80s, I want to say, where there was a point in time where they were really advertising Suburbans as essentially a big metal angel type of deal where, yeah, the car can be completely destroyed, but you will be fine because it's so huge. What? How about we just don't drive so dangerously or make our roads so easily dangerous? You know what I mean? If you're on a smaller road and going at a slower speed, you won't have to deal with insane life-threatening crashes like that. But because a lot of places are built on these highways, essentially, yeah, there are dangerous crashes that happen all the time. And sure, maybe you do want that. But when you think about it, once you get a bigger car, then, oh, look, now you're complaining that you want more road, you want bigger roads. Okay, the city's going to make the roads bigger. But because of that, even more people are going to need cars because it's not safe to walk across a 6-lane road like that. So even more people are going to get cars, and guess what? That's traffic. So now they're going to widen those roads even more, and even more people are going to drive. And I think if you continue this cycle enough, you get Atlanta. Truly, at the end of the day, you get Atlanta, Georgia. And that's where I was born, too. And I lived there for 8 years, and I have someone in my family who worked in downtown Atlanta. We lived out in the suburbs, and I cannot imagine what life was like trying to get to work. And this isn't all MARTA, because we all know no one uses MARTA. She would just drive, and nothing in my life I can't mentally fathom that anymore, that anyone would sit in traffic for any amount of time to go to work like that. I don't know. And I think that, again, it's the fault of the auto industry for making it that way. I don't want to get into the urban planning part of this. If you've listened to this podcast before, you know that that's one of the things I'm really interested in. I'm going to try and keep that out of this episode as much as I can. But I think the auto industry incentivizes places to be built in a way that requires cars, which would therefore make them even more money. Which also, again, helps the oil industry stay profitable. So it's really like a self-fulfilling prophecy and like a cycle. The next thing I think is the auto, food, and healthcare systems, I think, are all kind of intertwined in a way. I think that Americans are that's not even an I think. Americans are overall, like in general, walking less than they used to. I know a lot of people have stories of parents or grandparents being like, oh, we used to walk uphill both ways to wherever, blah, 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 that type of thing. We simply cannot do that. As Gen Zers who lived in suburbs, we don't even have sidewalks to walk uphill both ways. There's none. So it's like, what do you expect? And it's like, we live in these neighborhoods because our parents or grandparents wanted that for us, of like, this is a safe area to live in. You don't even know your neighbors half the time. There's no sidewalk. How am I supposed to meet them? There's no communal place to meet. Like, none of that. Sorry, anyway, continuing back to food. That Americans are they're, once again, in their cars, driving to fast food places, and going through the drive-thru. You're not even sitting there to stay or to talk with anyone, have a real meal. You're just there to pick up your food and go. To go home most of the time. And sure, it's one thing to want to eat with your family, but it's another to completely ignore anyone else that isn't in your family, and to be so scared that they're either dangerous or they're going to kidnap you or whatever type of mentality people have. And I was thinking about it because I saw someone a few days ago who, her daughter went to like grab something out of the car. Keep in mind, her daughter's like 6 or 7. Like, she's old enough to handle herself. But the mom was like, I turned around and you were just gone. Like, I thought someone like got you or something. And I was like, huh? I was like, we're in the parking lot still. Okay. Like, I think it's just so weird that people are really okay living in fear like that. But yeah, what this has to do, I need to actually stay focused, is that you're driving to the drive-thru and having food that is... Okay, so fast food, this is my issue with fast food. We all fully understand that it's unhealthy. No one has ever tried to be like, but fast food is healthy. Do you know the people who are doing that? Like 5-year-olds. It's the 5-year-olds who are telling them, Mommy, I really want chicken nuggets, and you can get a salad if you want because they offer that. That's... huh? Like, it is genuinely so unhealthy, and we all know it, but it's so cheap that we want to get it regardless. Which is really what the model of a fast food company is. Sell as much crap that is as cheap as possible so that more people can buy it. That's the entire model. And on top of that, it's destroying like local food customs and on a mass scale, our food culture in America. Thinking about what our food culture kind of is in America is like, it's largely European, I would say, of like everyone eats meat for the most part. Lots of eggs, dairy, cheeses, milk. What else? Wheat-based products like bread, things like that. But something that I think Europeans don't have that America does have is so much corn. We had to read this book for one of my classes that I'm in. It's Omnivore's Dilemma. I would recommend it. It's kind of a difficult read, to be honest. Like, it's not dense. It's like too loose. The dude just kind of like writes and writes and writes, which is fine. But Yeah, but part of it was talking about how corn is in literally everything. If you go to a fast food restaurant, guess what? The drink you have, corn syrup. Guess what? The food you have, corn starch. Just like everything, I'm pretty sure corn can be used in gasoline. Like, corn is somehow just everywhere. And because of that, a lot of our things are really unhealthy because corn isn't particularly nutritious like that. Like, sure, it's a plant, so it's not like it's gonna be horrifically unhealthy, but the amount of corn that you're intaking isn't. And then also the fact that a lot of plants are... So the thing with non-GMOs is I think a lot of people are like scared that a genetically modified organism is just bad in general, and that's not true. Genetically modified organisms can be great for a lot of different purposes. But when the purpose is so that they're quote-unquote Roundup ready, so that you can spray pesticide on it without it killing the plant, yeah, that's when we're going to have some problems. Because Roundup has been proven to cause cancer. That's not a question. It has been proven to cause cancer. So when you're having food that has pesticide corn in it that you didn't even know, you drank a Coca-Cola. You drank Pepsi and it had corn in it that you didn't even realize. Like, that's what I mean. And it was probably sprayed with pesticide and wasn't cleaned off properly. Because you have no clue who's in charge of cleaning it. Or who's in charge of processing it. It's just we're so many steps removed from our food now that it's truly wiping out culture, if you think about it. People used to know where their food was coming from. People used to harvest their own plants in their yards, or they would go buy it from a local community farmer who, Uncle John or whatever, he's super knowledgeable about these plants. That used to be a thing. We don't have that anymore. We just go to Popeyes and eat it because it's food. We have chicken nuggets now. What part of the chicken is the nugget from? You know what I mean? Like, a lot of kids have no clue where their food is coming from, and I think that's something that we should be really actively preventing. And adults. Ask an adult where a pineapple comes from, and I'm telling you, about like 90% of them don't know the answer. It's a stalk, by the way. There's no pineapple trees. They don't come from trees. They have its own little stalk, and it takes, I think, 15 years to grow one. So be a lot more thankful for your pineapples, because they are hard to grow. But yeah, I think America is definitely in a point where there's something to be gained from not telling people where their food comes from, and to ignore like old food ways of knowing where your food comes from, making it as either a family or as a community, and having, nice, wholesome food that was grown with love and care and not just mass produced. And then lastly, what I wanted to cover, but I'm really running out of time for, is that connection to healthcare. Because think about how unhealthy that food is. Now people have insane rates of diabetes, or they're gaining weight, or they have blood pressure issues, or heartburn, or whatever it is. Now health companies have realized that they can profit off of the fact that you're suffering from these things. So they can refer you to pharmaceuticals and etc. But really it's just one big cycle that you're driving to this drive-through, becoming unhealthy, needing to go to the hospital, and then that for-profit hospital is making money off of you. Anyway, that's the end of this video. I hope it makes you think truly, just critically, about everything going on around you, what you're buying, where it's coming from. And just as a society, I think we need to start demanding transparency, because that's ridiculous. Why are we ingesting food with pesticide in it? You know what I mean? Anyway, that's all. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Yeah, that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.